Okay, so I got a request from a student a few minutes ago, a little bit ago, asking for solving a reaction using a chemical equation. Solving for a reaction using a chemical equation. I don't have my notepad with me, so I'm going to do this with a word processor, and it's going to be a little bit clumsy, but I don't want to wait for a long time before I get back to him on this, right? So I've already asked him to pardon me. I'm going to do this with a word pad, okay? So again, pardon me for the clumsiness. All right, wine goes bad soon after opening because the ethanol in it reacts with oxygen gas to form from the air to form water and acetic acid, basically vinegar, the main ingredient of vinegar, okay? What mass of ethanol is consumed by the reaction of 8.92 grams of oxygen gas? All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my word pad and I'm going to pretend like I'm writing a chemical reaction, okay? So let's come down here and say CH3 CH2OH plus oxygen produces, what did it say? Carbon dioxide and water. I would do the same reacts with oxygen to form water and, oh, not carbon dioxide, acetic acid, of course. Okay, let's go back over here. H2O plus CH3COOH. Is that how they did acetic acid? I'm going to do the same form as they did it. All right, COOH. That's right. Okay, the main ingredient of vinegar. Now we got the reaction written down. What mass of ethanol is consumed by the reaction of 8.92 grams of oxygen gas? What mass? Okay, that's no problem. So here's what I got. I'm going to give myself a little bit of space here. Come down here. Let's pretend like this is. I'm going to pretend like this is a table. Can I underline that? Format, font. No underline here with this. Okay, that's all right. No problem. All right. Let's go here. Okay, this is a table now, and this is a table, and I'm going to start with mass equals, oh, that's the question, what mass is consumed, right? What mass of ethanol is consumed by 8.92 grams of oxygen? So we'll come back over here. We don't know about the ethanol, but we do know the oxygen, and it was 8.92 grams, right, of oxygen. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do in my table is I'm going to write formula weight, and I'm going to calculate the formula weight of oxygen. So I'm going to come back over here, or of ethanol, and I'm going to go, this is C2, 2 times C2, right, just 2 carbons right here, 2 times carbon, bam, plus 6 times hydrogen, 6 times hydrogen, plus oxygen, boom, equals 46. I'm going to store that in my calculator here, right there it is right there, 46, and I'm going to put it in my 46, I'm going to put it in my word pad. I'm pretending like I'm doing this in my paper. This is 46. Of course we want more sig figs than that, but this is going to be 32. I want more sig figs than that, but I'll keep the full number of sig figs in my calculator. Let's go back over here. Clear. And let's do oxygen now. 2 times oxygen is equal to, that's my, that's the formula weight of my oxygen gas, and it was 8.92 grams of that. So now I've got to go to how many moles I've got. Now I can't show you that on my paper how I do that, but you've done that successfully many times. We're going to basically take the mass and divide by the formula weight, right? So I'm going to go that upside down times 8.92 gives me 0.279 moles of oxygen gas. Let's go back over here. How many moles is it? I warned you this is going to be ugly. 0.279 moles of oxygen gas. Now the question is how many the question was this up here, right? That was what I'm asking. What's the mass? Well, in order to do that, I got to balance this equation and see what the molar coefficients are here, right? Up here, which I haven't done yet. Because I've got to know how many moles of ethanol are consumed for every 0.279 grams or moles of oxygen, which are burned, right? Make sure I'm reading that right. It's going to be very frustrating if I'm not. Wine goes bad soon after opening when it reacts with oxygen gas, right? What mass of ethanol is consumed by the reaction? Yep, of 8.92 grams. We're reading that right. Okay. So I got to find out what this balanced reaction is. Well, how many? There's 2 carbons here and there's 2 here. So far, this is going to be 1 and 1. I'm going to put a 1 in front of that and a 1 here. Right? Moving things down. Okay. Now, how many oxygens do I have here? I've got 1 oxygen here and 2 here, so it's 3 total over here. And it looks like 3 total over here. Wow, so far so good. So now what about hydrogens? I've got 6 here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. All right, so this is already balanced. You know, I'm going to get rid of those 1s. This is already balanced. And so I know it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Well, if it's a 1-to-1 ratio, this is 0.279, right? You see that? And now all I've got to do is calculate the mass from that. Okay, so it's 0.279, which I still have in my calculator, and 46, which I still have in my calculator. It's the product of those two. Let me go back to Alex. Pull that calculator up. I think I stored that. Now let's clear that out. It's 46 times 0.279 gives me 12.842 store. Now we got to go back and say how many sig figs is it, right? It's 12.842. There's my number. Did I store that already? No, I didn't. Let's store that. Okay. Yeah, I did. It's there. Let's go back over here now and say how many sig figs. I had 3 sig figs here. That was my only limiter. So therefore, this is going to have 3 sig figs. 12.8 is my answer. Okay. Love the green. Love the green. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. Let me just walk you back through it one more time, and then I'm going to post this video. What I did was I first of all balanced the reaction, wrote it out, balanced it. Okay. Then I took the mass of it and I converted it to the moles, because I know the only way I'm going to know what this relationship is with a molar ratio. The masses don't tell me anything directly, right? This is a molar ratio, and since this was a 1-to-1, I could say, well, that must be 0.279 also. And then I just converted that back to mass. All right, hope that's helpful. Again, I apologize for the clumsiness. I do think it was clear enough, I think, for me to post this on YouTube, so I think I'm going to do that. Go back to my screen here, show the green, and say we love it. Okay, good luck. Hope that's helpful.